before I drop that. I got PIs on that too to let you know just how much Papoose saying guys. And you ain't gonna have it either, because he finna burn you down the same way he done burnt Remy down, and a few other women out here he burning down too.
Stop scrolling. Because the story exploding across social media right now feels less like celebrity chatter and more like a plot twist nobody saw coming. Fans woke up to whispers that quickly turned into loud accusations, dragging familiar names into a storm of claims that refuses to calm.
But you got $8 million. I got $8 million. I got $8 million. No, you don't. I already got people running the background docs on Win Records on Papoose's position. It's only about
down. Timelines are flooding with reactions after reports surfaced suggesting that a once solid relationship may have cracked under the weight of money, ambition, and betrayal. According to The Buzz, making rounds online, Tasha K is being named as the voice behind a jaw-dropping allegation, one that paints a picture far messier than anyone expected. The claim circulating is that Papoose allegedly walked away from Remy Ma not because of love lost, but because of money gained, with rumors pointing toward an eye-popping $8 million fortune tied to Claressa Shields. Nothing has been confirmed, but the internet did what it always does, running full speed ahead while facts struggle to catch up. Fans are shocked as old interviews are...
So I don't know whose team you think I'm on, but I'm on your team. And like I said, Papoose and Remy spent time together on Christmas. I got pictures of them together. I ain't even dropped those yet.
Are being replayed. Past moments are being dissected, and every smile or side glance is suddenly being treated like a hidden clue. Emotions ran high almost instantly, with some defending Remy fiercely, others questioning Papoose's intentions, and many wondering how Claressa fits into a narrative this explosive. Comment sections turned into battlegrounds where loyalty and skepticism clashed in real time. What makes this moment so intense is not just the claim itself, but what it suggests about power, money, and trust behind closed doors. The family was left divided.
Will you let them hit the bottom? Go ahead, Jasmine. Roll the video. Roll the video.
Me, all y'all trollers, liars, Tasha K and Alleges Papoose, this is for y'all. Y'all are cancer to the Black African American culture. Y'all are cancer. All y'all do y'all whole career try to break down Black women and tell lies about them. Y'all are sick, and y'all are some sick individuals, and I hate y'all. I do. I hate y'all. And quit making videos about me. If you hate me so much, stop making videos. I'm not scared of none of y'all. Hey, none of y'all make me do nothing different. Nothing. I'm self-made, self-built. I got $8 million.
In the court of public opinion, and silence from those involved only added fuel to the fire. Whether this is reckless rumor or the start of a bigger unraveling, one thing is clear: this story has captured attention, and it is not letting go. The conversation around this story did not start quietly. It began with a ripple that quickly turned into a wave as clips, screenshots, and commentary started circulating across platforms where celebrity drama thrives. People who once praised Papoose and Remy Ma as an unbreakable pair suddenly found themselves
Come back alone. I'm gonna throw some salt at the door. He ain't gonna be able to come up in here. I'm gonna put some salt and pepper right there. All them spirits ain't coming up in my house no more. And they should be going up in you, because they gonna be hard to...
questioning everything they thought they knew. Voices online claimed that behind the smiles and public loyalty, tension had been building for years. Hidden under polished interviews and supportive red carpet appearances, according to the reports being discussed. Insiders are alleging that money played a far bigger role in the collapse of the relationship than fans were ever led to believe. Some commentators pointed out moments when financial discussions seemed to surface subtly, like jokes in interviews that now feel heavier in hindsight. Fans are shocked as old footage resurfaces where Remy spoke about partnership and sacrifice, while Papoose emphasized loyalty and standing.
Right here, all that stuff dry. Yeah, we look a little throwback, but Claressa is not ugly. Claressa got some money now. She ain't had no surgery on her face or on her body to change nothing. Okay, that's how you know she pretty, all right? That's how you know she ain't no ugly girl. So I just want to get that out of the way because I see that flying around with a lot of dark-skinned women. It's not because they calling me ugly. I know I'm not ugly. I don't give a damn who's saying. I know I'm not ugly. I'm just saying they like to put that with that, and I see, because publications when they
10 toes down. Those same clips are now being reinterpreted through a completely different lens. Tasha K's name entered the conversation when a series of claims began circulating that framed the situation as more than just emotional distance. The allegation suggests that the marriage reportedly cracked under pressure tied to finances, career trajectories, and control. According to The Buzz, Remy was portrayed as someone who believed love should outweigh money, while Papoose was allegedly accused of thinking long-term security mattered more than public perception. Emotions ran high as people debated whether those two ideas can truly coexist.
Claressa, you're all on my mind, oh, Rissa, you're one of a kind, oh, Rissa, you better watch that married man, girl, because he's playing you, Rissa, he's intensely dead, oh, Rissa. You don't know what you get. Oh, let me be quiet. Let me leave my sister alone. Stop saying
without conflict. Friends and associates, least as described by online sources, were said to be divided. Some were rumored to have encouraged private counseling and compromise, while others allegedly warned that resentment was already too deep. Fans picked sides instantly, with one camp arguing that Remy stood by Papoose during his lowest moments, and another claiming that relationships evolve and people are allowed to choose new paths. The family was left divided not just privately, but publicly. As supporters flooded comment sections with conflicting narratives, as the chatter grew louder, Claressa Shields' name began trending alongside theirs. Not because of anything she officially said or did, but because of what was being implied by outside voices. Reports framed her as a symbol of financial independence and success, highlighting her earnings and achievements. Some narratives suggested that her reported $8 million fortune became central to the story, fueling speculation that money, not romance, shifted the direction of Papoose's life. Fans are shocked by how quickly admiration turned into suspicion. Online commentators claimed that private conversations allegedly turned heated as trust began to erode. Accusations of hidden bank accounts, unequal contributions, and unspoken expectations were thrown around in live streams and reaction videos. None of it confirmed, yet endlessly repeated. People watching felt like they were witnessing a slow-motion unraveling of a marriage they once admired. Emotions ran high as empathy mixed with judgment, creating a chaotic digital courtroom where everyone believed they had the truth. What made the situation even more intense was how silence was interpreted. Every moment without a statement became evidence to someone. If Remy posted a cryptic message, it was read as heartbreak. Papoose appeared calm in public, it was seen as indifference. Even unrelated appearances were dragged into the narrative, analyzed frame by frame. Fans are shocked at how quickly perception can shift when speculation takes the driver's seat. Sources being quoted in commentary suggested that conversations about financial futures had been ongoing for a long time, not sudden. The idea being pushed was that ambition, when misaligned, can quietly turn into resentment. Remy was portrayed as someone emotionally invested in legacy and loyalty, while Papoose was framed as thinking strategically about comfort and stability. Whether true or not, this contrast became the backbone of the story being told online. Reactions from the wider hip-hop community, at least as described by bloggers and commentators, ranged from disappointment to understanding. Some artists reportedly expressed sadness at seeing another relationship torn apart by public opinion, while others hinted that money has ended more marriages than betrayal ever could. Fans are shocked by how normalized these discussions have become, turning private struggles into entertainment as the narrative continued to unfold. One thing became clear in the way people were talking about it. This was no longer just about who left whom. It became a debate about values, sacrifice, and whether love can survive when success enters the picture unevenly. Emotions ran high as people projected their own experiences onto the story, seeing reflections of their own relationships in the alleged arguments and choices being discussed by the time the dust from the first wave of claims settled. This story had already taken on a life of its own that existed in reaction videos, late-night live streams, and endless threads where every detail was scrutinized. The family was left divided in public perception, and fans were left questioning how much of what they see is ever real. The allegations, whether grounded or exaggerated, reshaped how people talked about all three names involved, setting the tone for everything that followed. The next phase of the conversation pushed the drama even deeper, as commentators began reconstructing alleged moments that supposedly happened behind closed doors. Livestream hosts claimed that late-night arguments were no longer rare, describing scenes where frustration spilled over into words that could not be taken back. According to these narratives, money was not just a topic, it became a symbol of power, independence, and control. Fans are shocked at how quickly a private disagreement was transformed into a full-blown storyline with heroes and villains chosen by strangers online. Some reports painted a picture of Remy questioning loyalty in its purest form. Voices online claimed she allegedly reminded Papoose of the years she spent locked away, the sacrifices made, and the belief that love meant standing together no matter what the bank balance looked like. The imagined dialogue shared by bloggers had her saying that money comes and goes, but commitment defines character. Emotions ran high as viewers debated whether such words, if ever spoken, should outweigh any practical concerns about the future. On the other side of the narrative, commentary suggested that Papoose was portrayed as feeling unheard and underestimated. According to the circulating talk, he allegedly felt boxed into a role where his ambitions were seen as selfish rather than responsible. Some claimed he argued that stability was not betrayal, and that planning for tomorrow did not erase the past. Fans are shocked by how relatable this angle felt to many, turning him from a villain into a complicated figure depending on who was telling the story. As these perspectives clashed, Claressa Shields continued to be pulled into the spotlight through implication rather than action. Commentators emphasized her success, independence, and financial strength, repeatedly mentioning numbers as if they alone explained everything. The idea being pushed was not just romance, but alignment. Emotions ran high as people argued whether reaction videos multiplied, each adding another layer of supposed insider detail. One creator claimed that friends close to the situation had allegedly warned Remy that unresolved financial tension could poison the relationship. Another insisted that Papoose had been advised to protect his future and think beyond emotion. The family was left divided, even in rumor, with each side allegedly receiving encouragement that reinforced their fears rather than easing them. Fans flooded comment sections with personal stories, turning the situation into a mirror for their own lives. Some said they understood Remy's pain, believing that loyalty should never be repaid with distance. Others sided with Papoose, arguing that love does not require financial sacrifice that breeds resentment. Fans are shocked by how quickly empathy turned into argument, with strangers fighting as if they were personally involved. That drama escalated when old interviews were dissected for hidden meaning. Casual remarks about independence, jokes about money, and compliments exchanged years ago were suddenly treated like foreshadowing. Emotions ran high as people replayed clips, slowing them down, pausing expressions, and assigning intent where none was ever confirmed. What once looked like playful banter was now framed as warning signs ignored. Some commentators went further, claiming that the tension allegedly spilled into social settings. Stories circulated about uncomfortable gatherings where silence replaced laughter and where friends supposedly felt the shift in energy. Whether imagined or exaggerated, these descriptions added fuel to the fire. Fans are shocked at how detailed these narratives became, blurring the line between observation and invention. As the online storm continued, the question of marriage itself became central. Discussions framed the union as a test of whether love, built in struggle, can survive success. Voices argued that when one partner grows financially or professionally at a different pace, imbalance can create insecurity. Emotions ran high as viewers debated whether that imbalance should be worked through privately or acknowledged as a breaking point. Claressa's presence in the narrative was often described as calm and focused, a contrast to the chaos surrounding the alleged split. Commentators suggested that her life appeared structured, goal-driven, and financially secure, qualities that some framed as attractive stability. Others pushed back, insisting that reducing a person to their net worth was unfair and dangerous. Fans are shocked by how often money overshadowed humanity in these discussions. Throughout all of this, silence from the main figures continued to be interpreted in countless ways. Every lack of response was treated as confirmation by someone. Emotions ran high as speculation hardened into belief, and belief spread faster than any correction could. The family was left divided in public imagination, with no clear truth, only louder opinions. By the end of this phase of the narrative, the story had shifted from a rumor about a marriage to a broader commentary on ambition, loyalty, and choice. People were no longer just asking what happened, but what should have happened. The lines between fact, feeling, and fiction blurred even further, setting the stage for even deeper assumptions to take hold. As the narrative continued to spiral, commentators began introducing another layer that focused on timing, suggesting that the alleged decisions did not happen overnight. Stories claimed that cracks had been forming quietly, masked by public appearances and supportive captions. Fans are shocked by how many moments were suddenly reinterpreted as evidence of distance. A smile on camera was described as forced, a shared laugh reframed as routine rather than joy. Emotions ran high as people questioned whether the relationship had been surviving on history instead of happiness. Some voices online described supposed private conversations, where Remy was said to be struggling with the idea of being left behind emotionally while still standing together publicly. These imagined scenes painted her as torn between pride and fear, wanting to protect her image while privately feeling the weight of uncertainty. Emotions ran high as bloggers claimed she allegedly confided in close friends, saying that love should never feel like a negotiation. Fans are shocked by how deeply these unverified accounts resonated with people who had felt similarly trapped in their own relationships. Meanwhile, the narrative around Papoose grew more conflicted. Commentators suggested that he was allegedly caught between loyalty and logic, between honoring the past and preparing for the future. Some claimed he felt pressure to constantly prove devotion, while others insisted he simply wanted balance. The imagined dialogue attributed to him included statements about wanting peace instead of constant tension. Fans are shocked by how these portrayals split opinion almost evenly, with empathy pulling in opposite directions. The storyline then shifted toward the role of success and how it reshapes identity. Claressa Shields was often described as representing a future driven by goals rather than history. Commentators emphasized her discipline, her financial independence, and her public confidence, presenting her as someone who allegedly offered clarity instead of conflict. Emotions ran high as critics argued that this framing was unfair and reductive, while supporters insisted that shared ambition can be the foundation of a strong partnership. As the commentary intensified, speculation about an alleged wedding began to circulate, despite no confirmation. Whispers suggested private ceremonies, quiet agreements, and decisions made away from cameras. Fans are shocked by how quickly imagination filled in details, from imagined guest lists to supposed reactions from family members. Emotions ran high, as some celebrated the idea of new beginnings, while others condemned what they saw as betrayal layered on secrecy. Reaction channels added fuel by claiming that industry insiders were talking. Anonymous sources were quoted saying that the alleged split had been inevitable due to unresolved financial disagreements. Others claimed that advisors had warned both sides years earlier about mixing love with long-term financial imbalance. The family was left divided even in these rumors, with each side portrayed as receiving counsel that confirmed their fears rather than offering solutions. Social media played a crucial role in amplifying every twist. Cryptic posts, vague captions, and even song lyrics were treated like coded messages. Fans are shocked at how quickly unrelated content was linked back to the narrative. Emotions ran high as timelines turned into detective boards, with users connecting dots that may never have existed. The speed of interpretation outpaced any possibility of clarity. At the same time, a counter-narrative began to emerge. Some commentators pushed back hard, accusing gossip platforms of exploiting personal lives for clicks. They argued that reducing complex relationships to money and marriage was irresponsible. Fans are shocked by how loud this resistance became, yet how easily it was drowned out by sensational claims. Emotions ran high as debates turned hostile with accusations of bias, misogyny, and opportunism flying in every direction. The idea of loyalty became a central theme once again. Voices questioned whether standing by someone during struggle creates a lifelong debt, or whether growth allows for change without guilt. Commentators framed the situation as a moral test, forcing viewers to choose sides based on their own values. Fans are shocked by how personal the discussion felt, even though the story itself remained unverified. As these discussions evolved, tension turned to the emotional cost of public scrutiny. Narrative avoidance. Emotions ran high as every day without a response added another layer of assumption. The family was left divided between those demanding answers and those urging restraint. The conversation then widened to include the role of media culture. Analysts argued that stories like this thrive because outrage travels faster than truth. Short clips, bold captions, and emotionally charged language were described as tools that reward speed over accuracy. Fans are shocked by how easily context disappears in this environment. Emotions ran high as some creators admitted that even debunking rumors often strengthens them rather than stopping them. Attention also turned toward the impact on legacies. Commentators questioned how years of work and public goodwill could be overshadowed by a single cycle of gossip. Achievements that once defined identities were suddenly treated as footnotes. Fans are shocked by how fragile reputation can feel in the digital age. Emotions ran high as supporters worried that no clarification would ever fully erase the doubt planted in public minds. Amid the noise, a quieter perspective emerged that focused on resilience. Some commentators emphasized that personal reinvention often follows periods of intense scrutiny. They pointed to past examples where individuals rebuilt their narratives through consistent actions rather than statements. Emotions ran high as this view offered a sense of hope, suggesting that time and authenticity could still shift perception. The idea of forgiveness also surfaced, though it remained complicated. Discussions questioned who forgiveness was even for in such situations. Was it owed to partners, fans, or oneself? Fans are shocked by how moral judgments were handed down without access to facts. Emotions ran high as some argued that growth requires room to make imperfect choices, while others insisted that accountability should never be optional. As debates continued, the story began to reflect more about the audience than the individuals involved. People projected their own experiences of love, betrayal, ambition, and sacrifice onto the narrative. Fans are shocked by how deeply personal reactions became. Emotions ran high as comments revealed unresolved pain, loyalty conflicts, and fears of being replaced. The gossip had transformed into a mirror for collective emotion. Eventually, fatigue set in. Even the most active discussion spaces showed signs of exhaustion. Repetition dulled the shock, and speculation began to circle back on itself. Fans are shocked by how quickly yesterday's explosive claim became today's background noise. Emotions ran high as some questioned why so much energy had been invested in a story with no confirmed truth. Toward the end of this cycle, a broader lesson took shape. The situation highlighted how easily narratives can escape the people they are about and take on lives of their own. Once released, they are shaped by algorithms, incentives, and emotional reactions rather than reality. Fans are shocked by how difficult it is to slow this process once it begins, in the final stretch. Some commentators urged a reset, encouraging audiences to step back and reconsider their role. They reminded viewers that consuming responsibly includes knowing when to disengage. Emotions ran high as this call clashed with the addictive pull of constant updates. Still, the message lingered for those willing to hear it, as the story settled into its aftermath. Certainty remained elusive. What endured instead was a heightened awareness of how fame magnifies every choice and how silence can be interpreted in countless ways. Fans are shocked by how unresolved endings often feel more powerful than clear conclusions. Emotions ran high, then slowly softened, leaving behind reflection rather than frenzy. In the end, the narrative closed not with confirmation, but with perspective. It became less about what was alleged and more about how quickly judgment spreads and how rarely empathy keeps pace. The noise faded, but the questions it raised about privacy, loyalty, and public consumption remained, lingering long after the headlines moved on. Now it is your turn to step into the conversation. You have heard the reports, felt the tension, and seen how fast speculation can spiral into a full-blown narrative. But the biggest questions are still unanswered, and that is where your voice matters. Do you think these claims are being exaggerated for attention? Or do you believe there is more beneath the surface that is yet to come out? Drop your thoughts in the comments and tell us which side of this debate you are on. If you want to stay ahead of stories like this as they unfold, make sure you like this video and subscribe to the channel. Every single day, new reports, reactions, and twists hit the internet, and you do not want to miss the next update when it drops. Turn on notifications so you are always the first to know when another shocking claim or unexpected turn starts. Trending. And remember, sharing your perspective keeps these conversations alive. Send this video to someone who has been following this drama closely, or to a friend who always has an opinion when rumors start flying. Together, we break down what is being reported, what is being assumed, and what still remains unclear. Stay tuned, stay curious, and stay engaged, because this story, like so many others, may not be finished just yet.